see how we get on with this. Alright, hopefully I'm being heard. Bright light. Get the light in a bit better. That's it. How's everyone doing? First time doing this, so if it's a bit rough around the edges, I do apologise. Alright, but how are we all doing? Hope you're all okay and well and safe. And yeah, so as you can see in front of you, we're going to do a little bit more to TMNT 2 Shredder. And yeah, so I'm just going to dive right in, let people flow in if they want to. Guillermo, staying safe. Good man. Good man. Okay, so the aim of the game today is, first, one of the things we're going to do is fill in this slot with sculpt on his hand, because the TMNT 2 Shredder did not have these humongous claws on his hand, which I was able just to pop out. So you're going to Dremel down the residual strap, fill it with sculpt, and then sculpt in most of the detail. That's one of the plans. I don't know if I'll actually get to do it today, but what I do want to do is focus on the head scarring. Okay, so if I pan you up, get the light out of the way, as you can see the scars on his face, they're there, and one on his head. So you're going to try and add them in. I know he's got the splinter scratches already. But yeah, I want to try and get the two underneath his cheeks and then try and get one just there in between his eyebrows. And then fill in his hand. I don't know if I'll be able to get to do it today, but it will be on the end video. Here it is. Having a look at the 3D printed crown that my man Jordan Godson did for me, bless him. We both designed this ourselves. What we did, we took a 3D file of the crown here, and then he built it on in, and I guided him through the sort of changes I wanted. And yeah, this is basically as movie accurate as we can get it. It's 98% there, but for what I want to do, it will do. Yay, nice one, Rob. You're right, man. So yeah, so this needs a bit of sanding down, just so where some of the 3D printed elements were, like obviously here and whatnot. So I'm not sure if we'll get to do that on this video, but that'll be one of the things I still need to do. And here, where it's going to attach to the head, I need to Dremel this a bit further, closer to the ridge, just there, so it will sit closer on its head. So when we get it, we can get it upright like that. As it's saying, sticking way too far out now. Yeah, just started, Crystal, just started. And I want it to sit about there. Okay, so I've got to Dremel that back a bit, but I just want to get on with adding the scarring details on his face. So that is one of the aims of the games today. Okay, so the head is on, the rest of the cowl, or whatever you want to call this damn thing he wears on his head, is all done. Alright, now my lighting's pretty shockingly bad at the moment, as you can see it in the reflection of my tab. So let's adjust that a bit, so it's not as blinding. That's better. Yeah, tilted back a bit, and tilt you down. Okay, so hello to everyone that's just jumped in. Ah, nice one. I don't know why you're coming up as Crystal on your thingy, on your YouTube, but you're right, mate. Hope you're all okay. So yeah, so first things first is I'm actually going to fire up the Dremel and start making the gashes on his head. Alright, so get the old Dremel out. So it's plugged in. No, it's not. Bear with me. We do have the trusty Dremel with the drill bit on the end, and yeah, these are an absolute lifesaver when it comes to customizing, as this one's pretty handheld. It's not massive and fat like you would a normal Dremel, and I can maneuver with it pretty well. Okay, so just about here, under here, and then just here, and then we're going to paint it up. But I do want some actual texture and depth, so that's why I'm going to carve in an actual cavity, like here, like these are sculpted in. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so I'm going to fire this up. It's going to get noisy. Make sure that's in. There we go. Okay. Then we'll start with the left cheek. Get a better grip. There we are. So. There. Let me get one off the side. This looks a bit loose actually. Let's try and sort that out. That should be a bit better. Then we go to the next one, which is about here. Right there. And I'm going to go for one on his forehead. Okay. It's actually come out the colour I wanted to paint it, which is quite handy. But yeah, that will do. So once I've given it some paint, it should actually look okay. And the mask. Let's get the mask back on. Okay. So yeah, it's just about visible. The paint will accent it as well, just so it's all chewed up from when it was dropped into the garbage truck. Okay. So that's that. And whilst I'm at it, I'm going to change Dremel pieces. I'm going to get those extra straps off of the. I'll do my Dremel case. Oh, here it is. Get those extra strap things off his hand. So I need to change drill bit. Oh dear. I would put music behind this, but there's no doubt as soon as it goes up, it'll probably get copyright struck and straight away. I think that's the one. Does that work? Yeah, that's the one. Okay, so that there, that there. Oops, not there right. There we go. Oh, yeah. All fun and games. I say I've pretty much got all the time now because here I'm on furlough and I have no idea when I'm going back to work, which is fun. I was worried I wasn't going to have a job by the end of this, but being under furlough means that I have at the moment, for now, until they say otherwise. At least I'm still getting paid by the government. So, okay. So let's pop the hand off. Okay, and okay, where do I want to start? I'll start about there, get them back up. Gonna get noisy again. Alright. Just gently. We're going to sculpt in where this was. Okay. Right, should do it. Do that. Put away the excess. See what we've got. See what we're working with. A bit of clean up. Okay. Straps down. Let's get that out. That's just all excess flashing. Let's carve that away. And yeah, but at least it's flat in that area now, and I can re-sculpt straight over that, and it'll look like it's just got a bare hand. That needs a bit more. Let's see if I can get it with the knife. Okay. 8 people in. Hello to everyone who's just jumped in. Appreciate it. Hope you're all alright. We're working on TMNT 2 shredder and just doing some bits and bobs, some little knickknacks that I have to do before I get to the main bit, which is the obviously the circular saw crown that he's got on his head, which I had to have 3D printed. If you want to check out more of the 3D printed guy's work, or if you want to customize your own, and get one of these bits, his Instagram account is 112 Fig Fan, I believe it is, or he's Jordan Godson on Facebook, and he's still got the file up, and be able to sell you one. Okay, but I've got a couple of them, and looking forward to getting that on, because that is really the centerpiece of this particular one. Oh, Guillermo, appreciate it, mate. Thanks, man. Mark, how we doing? Really appreciate it. Any of you guys have questions, by all means, because as much of a chatterbox as I am, it's the first time being live, so I do get carried away in concentration of the work. I'm going to try and keep you guys entertained. I'm not going to sing or anything. You know, I can rap if I had some lyrics in front of me. But yeah, so where that used to be, obviously take that out. I'm going to clean that up in a bit, get it a bit better, and yeah, bust out some milliput. I don't know whether I get it to cure in time. So I'm going to be on for about an hour, but I thought I'd just stick on the camera, as I've now got live streaming activated, which is cool. Hold on one second. Do it in the chat. I'm gonna chat, top chat, non chat. Okay, so it's not on there. Okay, yeah, just checking out some settings. All right, so let me have a look. Let me just see what I can do. Clean this knuckle up a bit. Oh, good question, Rob. Good question. It would have to be the Venom. The Tom Hardy movie Venom I did last year. Was it last year or year before? Yeah, that pushed me. That really did. So that would have to be it. Before then, it would probably be me Mark 1 Iron Man. Yeah, my Mark 1 Iron Man. That was the one before. But yeah, the Venom, easily, that's kind of like my Sistine Chapel, because my weakest area of customizing is painting faces. I'm still practicing on it. I'm not there great, but the Tom Hardy head cast I was able to get from a guy off Instagram was perfect. And then luckily it took about 2 tries. I thought I'd screwed it up on the first attempt. It worked. It came out. I managed to nail it somehow. So in most of the other areas of customizing, I'm confident in it. It's just I'm not that confident when it comes to head painting, flesh tones and eyes really. But luckily the gods are on my side, and the seas parted, clouds aligned, the stars aligned, whatever, and it all worked out. And I was really happy with the end result. And yeah, it was a good little, and then raffled it off. I do miss it. I wish I could shoot with it more, but it's in about home. And yeah, so that's my favourite custom I've done so far. Okay. There's been a couple of projects I haven't actually been able to finish. I'll clean up a bit better. Turtle boy, how we doing, mate? You okay? Thanks for stopping in. Working on TMNT 2 shredder now. Okay, so let me dremel that down a little bit more, because my box cutter is a pile of crap. I thought I'll be able to just trim it up a bit. I might be able to. Not too worried about losing its shape, because I'll just resculpt it, so it's not an issue. Oh, would you mean Turtles dioramas, you mean, Turtle Boy? Yeah, I was having to think of that, because you've done the layer, you've done the shredder and foot hideout. What was the other one you did? You'd obviously done the second time around Dio, which is absolutely amazing. I was just thinking, what else? I don't know, maybe like the the rooftop where they have the big final fight. There's loads of like secondary buildings and like puddles and bits and knickknacks and everything all on there, and there's like a great backdrop of the city. There's one thing I need to do actually, is to get an actual decent printout of a city backdrop, but it's all in different, you go on Google Images and all in different like perspectives, like weird tunnel vision perspectives, or shit. It's hard trying to find a good perspective shot of a city background for the particular angle that you want to shoot in. But there's one like that comes with the NECA street Dio. but the movie turtle one, because I know the retail version just comes with the daylight, you know, daytime version. But yeah, oh yeah, I was thinking about that as well, actually, what your next big turtle diorama could be, what setting. Maybe the old farm. Maybe the old farmhouse would be pretty cool. Yeah, I'd like to have the close view of the city. Just like, yeah, that would be nice, man. That'd be nice. So just scrolling through the chat. Is there a ton different from the first shredder to the second? Been a while. Yeah, he's wearing a purple suit. He's finally got his purple suit on. Pretty much exact same style as the first one, but the first one was red. This one's just purple. Only other difference is obviously the shroud. It is the same shroud that he wears in the first one. If I tilt the camera up again, you'll see. But because he's like come out of a junkyard, he added all of these little metal panels to it. Okay, and at different angles you can also see. That's better. Yeah, so he just added all this metal plating to it, and then one of the scenes you see him grinding away at his new crown, so it's like more circular saw, and it's absolutely ridiculous and huge. It's absolutely monstrous. Yeah, definitely a far cry from what the first one was, but it's still, you know, the second film's still fun, even though it is really watered down and toned down. And if NECA ever did a Vanilla Ice figure, I'm all over it. But yeah, so there's no doubt in my mind that NECA will actually do a version of this themselves. They always do. I can definitely see that happening. But as we're, you know, locked down or quarantined, well, I am. I'm just looking for custom ideas, keep myself busy. I thought, well, screw it. I've got a couple of these. Why not give it a go myself? And it can act as a shelf filler. So yeah, that's just what I'm doing. Hopefully they don't decide to release it before I even finish this, like they did with my Casey Jones. But yeah, no, this will be done in the next couple of days, and I should have a regular video out of it by the weekend, hopefully, or maybe the end of the week. So yeah, so we've got that done. This is pretty much ready for sculpting. Let me just trim this up a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna. Next thing will be to just paint the details on that. But yeah. So yeah, there is a difference. When I was helping my friend Jordan design this, you know, first, if you ain't seen a movie before, you know, people just think, oh, it's just this one, but just with circular saw blades around the edge. But no, there is massive difference. It is absolutely monstrous. The glitter was always an issue, massive issue. So obviously I tried not to defuse the glitter that was already, the glittery effect that was already on the butt of this with the red. And if you can see it, it's some of it's still glistening. But what I've done, and yet with the dry brushing of the purple, did end up, you know, masking quite a lot of the glitter effect. And to be honest, I did not want to work with glitter to try and recreate it. So if my light wasn't so damn harsh, I added a shimmer by if my lighting will actually pay it justice, by really lightly dry brushing some titanium silver. That's chrome titanium silver. Just gave it a light dry brushing so it picked up on the sculpt, and that way it actually gave it sort of a metallic glittery sheen, which was good enough for me in the end of the day. But yeah, trying to recreate the glitter look was always one of those speed bumps that I did not really want to try and jump over, so I just lightly walked around it, if you will. Yeah, so I got over that one. I was going to try and do something fancy with the cape, hence why his two shoulder pads are off. Where is it? Yeah, my intention was, because it's not, like, as you can see, it's not around his neck, even though he's not wearing the cape in this particular scene. You know, it weren't as predominant around his neck. It was more just behind the shoulder pads. So I took another cape and I did like just cut it off here and got rid of the buckle, because I was going to have it actually attached underneath the shoulder pads, but there was so much excess, and I'm not a seamstress. So this seemed a bit too much of a bit off more than I can chew. So with the cape, unknowingly, I'm just going to use a regular cape. I've got another one, just have it hooked around his neck, so be it. You know, it's mainly just for a couple of shots on the display. And I'll wait until NECA release the full version. And if they do anything different, there's a good chance they won't. They'll just leave it like the way I'm going to leave it. So, but yeah. Righty-roo, so I'm happy with the hand. So I'll get to that again soon. Now I want to do this, which is going to be a combination of paint. I'm going to paint up those wounds on his face. So I'm going to use, let me tilt you back down again so that light isn't beaming in your head. Okay, I'm going to use some dark scarlet. So up there, and a mixture of this and fake blood. Okay, because it really gives a wicked like sort of blood tone. This just evaporates, this doesn't stay down. So having the mixture of the two, and then I'll add in a little bit of gloss, liquid gloss into the wound so it just looks fresh and bloody. Okay, so get a bit of that going, a bit there. I always make way too much paint than I actually need. Let's get stirring. What can I use to stir? Use the end of that one. Okay, it's a bit white, bright hot there, so let's just try and arc that a bit better. Trying to get my lighting. There's lamps all over the gaff at the moment. It's broken as well, so apologies. Yeah, once I'm here and the hands are here, it takes away the harshness of it. Let's get some paint going. That'll do. Mix it up. And I've already got fake blood in my hands. Brilliant. Alright, let's just move him out of the way. Bring this close. And yeah, choose a decent, thin enough paintbrush. That one will do. Okay. Let's mix this up a bit. Yeah, that'll be alright. And yeah, comes out really well actually when you mix the two together. Let's get some tissue. Wipe that off. Yeah, discovered that little trick when I was doing my blade custom display base with the tiled floor for the Plastic Action UK challenge. I was trying to figure out a good blood splatter pattern with a decent colour. So and yeah, just a combination of these two worked pretty well. So I was quite happy with that. Then used it. What else did I use it on? Oh, on my Predator figure when I gave it a wash over the mask. All right, so let's get a bit more Hoper going. Okay. If you can see that okay, and I'm just gonna highlight in here. A bit too much, I'll wash that away. I've got my desk lamp right in my face, so that's blinding me. I can really see what's going on. So just get a secondary brush, just clean that away a bit. Okay, get my little pot of water going, which I should have done beforehand. Just here. Now I get to clean that up a bit better. Okay. Part of the fun of customising is trial and error. Okay, you don't get it right every single time. Now I've got some water going. Give that a bit of a wash. Actually, yeah, it actually gives a little bit of a damaged redness around the skin area itself, so it doesn't look like just normal skin tone and then a cut. You know, there's always like trauma around it, which I don't mind. Let's just get a bit of that out. There we are. 100%, mate. 100%. I think it absolutely has to happen, dude. The dioramas are way too good. They're amazing. And yeah, what I have here, what dios I've got, you know, I mean, I do what I can with my shots, you know, with as best I can, and I'll try and make what I can. Like the one where he's sitting on a stool, I threw that backdrop wall and doorway just together from what I could order and what I could do myself. But there are some shots I look at it in the movie and I'm just thinking, you know, there's no way I can pull that off without, you know, building something massive. And I even look at some of my older shots of turtles and I think, oh, I could really redo it with redoing that. But But yeah, like I can't wait for Casey Jones and the Trenchcoat RAF to turn up. That'd be really cool. Some shots really aren't that hard to pull off, you know, they look elaborate and complicated, but one of them, what I did, I just took some moss, some architectural moss, stuck it to a bit of cardboard, which in itself had some black tissue paper on it, and just stuck a massive patch of moss, like a massive square area of the big sheet of cardboard, and that added as a backdrop for one of my shots, which is of him in the park, and all you see in that shot is just a massive mound of shrubbery right in the back, and that worked fine for me. You know, that was it. It's all that was needed. You know, and my latest one, I tried to do my best to build a little, you know, backdrop of a sewer, and all it was just 2 panels of a roof dio that I have, and the rest is all perspective. You know, you look at the shot itself, and it's actually not much to it. So. Nearly there. Let this dry up and I get some milliput going. Right. It's just, hold on 1 second. I've got a big flash of plastic sitting right there under his cheek. I didn't even notice. Yeah, yeah. There we are. You've got so mangled. You know, when the foot soldier says his face, you know, I really wanted to actually see how mangled his face was. Like in Face Off, when you see Nicolas Cage without no skin on his face. I wanted to see something like that. And I was messed up as a kid. That would have been good though. I'm just gonna, you can see that all right? Yeah. I'm sorry if it goes out of focus. And wash that a bit. A bit of a wash. Tidy it up. Go better again. Not a fan of having to repeat my own work, but it's got to be done sometimes, especially if it is reversible, which painting is, providing you're working with acrylics and not enamels. Yeah, it just looks grimy and fleshy and crappy. Yeah, terrible. Yeah, like that, definitely. NECA actually. Yeah, to a couple of wings. I think making case without a master on. Yeah, I know a lot of his scenes in that movie. He's, you know, just in a tank top. Now the thing is, though, it's a shame that Randy said that they can't get his likeness rights at the moment, but it's taken them this long to get all the characters from Alien, you know. So, and they keep beating down these actors until they finally got a deal. So hopefully it won't take like 10 years, but you know, like the 50th anniversary or something like that before, you know, the guy caves in and says, yeah, you can have my rights now. Like they've done with the Alien card. I'm still waiting for him to do that with bloody Predator. He keeps trying to get Dylan, I forget the actor's name, the guy who plays Dylan, his likeness rights, and he just won't have it. I'm like, come on, dude, man, just give it up. But yeah, in terms of a custom head sculpt, my idea for it was the Evil Dead Ash 2-pack, and it comes with that fucked up dude with a shirt on and half his face cut off. One of the alternate heads for Ash really does look like just a neutral face, really does, with his massive chin, really does look like the actor that plays Casey. So my idea was to mold and cast that. Obviously, if I need to, if the scarring wasn't actually sculpted on his face, then that'd be brilliant. If it is, I'll just have to mod it a little bit, Dremel off the hair. And same thing I used in my Desperado custom is I took an old NECA Crow figure, removed the hair from that, and I was going to then fix the long hair onto that, and it would look like then an unmasked Casey, or near enough. But I'm waiting to actually get the figure in hand to see if the head will actually fit, if it's going to be way too big. I have no idea. I can't really do much until I get the figure in hand. But yeah, that was for a custom unmasked Casey head for shots anyway. For display, he's always going to have the mask on. But yeah, it's a shame. I was thinking maybe it would end up turning up in one of these loot crates, but buggered that up there. Luckily he's going to have a grill on. Yeah, dab that off. Dab that off there. Okay, might actually do a little bit of a wash across his splinter scarring whilst I'm at it. But yeah, so for a unmasked Casey, that was my plan, but as I say, I can't really do much until I've got the figure in hand. So yeah, we shall wait and see. Won't be too long, hopefully, and we'll have that figure, which looks awesome. And that toy fair was unreal. They showed that, along with the Back to the Future and the Token Raza. Was not expecting that. Not a toy fair anyway. Okay, right, let's have a look and see. Where is this faceplate? There it is. Sorry, I've got a paintbrush in my gob. So if I put the mask on now, should protect it from any. And that's a bit wonky. There we go. Get in there. Get in there indeed. Definitely looks bloody lighting. Next time I do this, I'm gonna have better lighting, I promise you. And then once that's dry, which it will be shortly, I'm gonna add some gloss in those wounds so it looks nice and fresh and juicy. All right, lift up and going on to his scarring. Not bad. Okay, now pack up the painting for a moment and get onto some sculpting. Yeah, boy. And I'll add some gloss a bit later. I'm gonna let the paint dry for now. So let's move him out of the way. Get out there. Move the water up back there without spilling it. Everything else out of the way. Alright, I'm going to use Monsieur Milliput. I've got the terracotta version. I actually like this version of Terracotta Milliput better than the yellow and green, to be honest. I don't know why. I picked this up because it's all they had at the time. I prefer just sticking with something I'm used to, which was the yellow and green, so I thought I'd give it a go, and it's pretty alright. Dries pretty solid. So I'm going to get some rolled out. This is 2-part epoxy. I was watching one of Craig Warwick's custom videos of his Mario when he was going live, just to see how he dealt with it. And yeah, man, that man's customs are amazing. Probably one of the goats in customizing. I know it takes him a year to make one, but it's worth it. Absolutely worth it. So, right, one bit. And if you guys are just tuning in, how are we all doing? Appreciate you stopping by. And we're working on old TMNT 2 shredder. Okay, beautiful. So yeah, they've got more planned for the Turtles line in terms of figures, which according to Randy on his little Pixel Dan interview, that aside from the 2-packs that we already know are coming out, so obviously like Raph and Casey, the re-release of the Turtles themselves in 2-pack form and a couple of extra accessories. Apparently there's 2 other 2-packs out yet, and also an accessory pack for movie number 1. That's not even including the TMNT 2 stuff, which is amazing. I have no idea who else they're going to bring out. I'm assuming April and Tatsu are going to be in there somewhere. Other than that, the only 2 I can think of is maybe an unmasked Foot Soldier and Danny. Or maybe Sam Rockwell, who knows. But yeah, we shall see. And then we'll see what they decide to release more of from TMNT 2. I doubt they'll re-release, I mean they could, I mean it would make sense if they wanted to make the money, re-release the Turtles again, but all with new head sculpts, all the bodies being the same, but all of them have got those secret reviews head sculpts. I think Donnie being the one that had the drastic change. No idea whether they'll do that, but I got a feeling this shredder will be in that lineup 100%. Yeah, you know it, but I'm just sort of get a jump on it. Why not? Shelf filler. Get these rolled out. An even mixture of both. I've probably made way too much, which I know I have, but sod it. And this will take about 5-10 minutes to actually set a little bit. I prefer working with the stuff when it's had a little bit of time to set. That's just me. It's, you know, a bit firmer and not as messy. We'll mix it up, let it set for a little bit, and then we'll dive into that hand. But yeah, how's everyone's Monday going? I haven't done much myself apart from getting everything sorted out for this. Been working on the custom cave itself. A lot of foam being used for that. It's getting bigger and bigger every time I just. It's meant to be just a simple 2 sides, a floor and a backdrop, just so I could have something to present as a backdrop in videos rather than the plain boring rubbish I've got. But every time I work on it, I have more ideas, and it's becoming a full-blown diorama at this point. I'm not even a dio maker, but I thought I'd just give it a go. As you can see, I'll show you now. Carving my logo into some foam as if it's cracked rock in a cave, but I intend to have, it's going to go higher 2 sides, and I'm going to have some stone pillars, so it's like they've just wandered in and it's a cave backdrop. God knows what else, how it's going to look eventually. Let's get you set back up. Don't fall over. There we are. But yeah, and I had another idea for a predator something mashup, another one, but I'm going to need to actually buy the predator buck because I want to use the new predator movie buck for that. I won't give away what the mashup will be, but yeah, I might create a series of them if I can think of anything else good that will pair up well with a predator mashup, but we'll see how we go on. Next in the Avengers final battle line is probably the Thanos, and that will be it for the Avengers customs. Yeah, and then we'll just see where the wind takes us after that. Oh, good fun. So that is pretty much mixed, and I'll mix it all to its one colour. There we go. Leave that to set for one moment. See, I think, I know, it depends on what room you've got, but you know, your display of the turtle dioramas, I see you've got the 3 in the shelf, and then you've got the second time around dio in the above it. Depending on your space, maybe the front of the farmhouse, or maybe just the rooftop for the final fight, or something, or maybe like the side of the street when they pop out and they're chasing them up the fire escape, you know, something like that maybe. Not sure whether you want to make it shelf size or a full-blown dio out in the open, or the barn. I don't know. I was thinking about doing a shot of Mikey hitting a punch bag in the barn, because I wouldn't need much to sort of get simulate that kind of setting. I could easily make a punch bag just out of clay, and I think I can sort of put together some sort of palleted, you know, big wall, and then have some light coming through it, and that'll look pretty sweet, moody. There's some water. All right. Yeah, so with this, I just want to sand down these sort of areas, open this up a bit more so it sit closer on his head, then prime it and paint it, and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. And I've got a pretty cool shot intended with him simulating a Toka and Raza scene, even though I don't have the figures. Trust me, I've got a way of figuring it out to make them look like as if they are in the shop when it's all done. Right, let's crack on. So I'll take a bit of this. So I made way too much. I'm going to stuff it in that cavity. And I don't mind it spilling out because I want it to pack that cavity as much as possible. So I'm going to keep folding it in so I know it's all compact in there. Okay. All right, and we're gonna, where's my thingamajigger? Where's my blade gone? There we are. And we're gonna just cut away the excess. Like that. That's the edge, that's the actual edge. Okay, cool. That's fine. All right, and then get some water. because this stuff works best when you use it with water. Smoothing it out. So it blends in a bit better. Press it down a bit more. Peeking up above the knuckles, that's fine. So I want to get it even and flat. So peel away some of the excess. Get in there, get in there. I'm only put, it's not my favourite clay to work with, that would be Super Sculpey. Because even though you get more time with it, you don't need water or anything. It's just soft and malleable anyway, and you can, you know, that's what I made the gauntlet hand for me endgame Iron Man. It took a few, it's an oven baked clay, so it took a few bakes. If I tried getting all that detail in one sculpting session, it'd be impossible. I'd constantly keep accidentally touching it and pressing it and ruining, keep having to redo my work, so I had to do bit by bit. This should be pretty straightforward though. So get some more water on that, and so I'm happy with the coverage. I'll start sculpting in some details. Right, let's get a tool going. One, that's two. Dig out the sculpt from the joint. Okay, wipe it down a bit more, because even with the tools I have to actually wet down the tools, otherwise it starts pulling away at the clay itself. It's very, very sticky and tacky, so you've got to keep wetting it down. Okay. That'll do. I'll add a bit more in afterwards. Okay, right. Using a tipped, basically like a paintbrush, but they're rubber tips. So I've got a pointy one and flat square one. So my light, there you go. Great. It's the only two I used. I used to use actual cocktail sticks, which because my first sculpting video that I watched was from the late great Glenn Webb, and his little tutorial with using milliput and a toothpick. So that's what got me started into actually sculpting. And my dad was sculpting at the time, saying to pass the time whilst he was on chemo, and he was sculpting actual statues and whatnot. So we would all the tools when I was there, and that's it. Got my own, and away it was. So what I'm going to do is going to bring in the trenches for the knuckles. So neaten it up a bit. It's going to look rough first, but just going to get the general shape in first, and then we go in with the intricate details after. That is the key with sculpting. Do not sit there and focus on one little bit of detail. Otherwise, especially with this stuff, by the time you get around to doing anything else, your clay's already set and you have to start again. Just get the basic details down first, okay, and then you can go in and worry about the rest afterwards. So just gonna, okay, smoothing them out. I don't know how clear that is. We're getting there, we're getting there. Okay, get that a bit smooth down. And sorry if it's not smooth. There we are. So I'm concentrating on the sculpting itself, and I'm not seeing if it's actually picking it up on camera, so apologies. A bit of detail there. Smoothing that side out. And his hand's all mangled as well, so I might add a sort of a gash to it, to the back of his hand, which I'm probably going to do here. Yeah, so I think I remember. And of course, my own little added detail, and add a little wound to his hand. Okay, bringing these in a bit more. Smooth that out. Sculpting is all about patience as well. You know, sometimes you have to just go back and forth until you get the result you want. So my own shadow is blocking my light, I can barely see. Until you're happy with the look. There is points during a custom where if you're just constantly working on it, and you just have to get to a point where you say, do you know what, that's done now, you know, otherwise you'll be at it for absolutely ages. A little bit of trauma around that wound. There's all loads of little tricks for texturing which are really good. Right, I'm happy with that. Smoothing it out a bit. Sort that out, and I'll be alright with that. Let's just get this a bit better. Getting there, boys, getting there. This should be the boring part. It's just me doing the same thing over and over again until I'm happy with it. But, you know, sculpting is patience. What figures are you all looking forward to seeing? And it's coming out. I know the Mayfix Batman Hush has just been delayed again until June, which is annoying because I've already had my invoice for it. But there's that. There's the Raph and Casey set. I don't even know what else I've got pre-ordered, to be honest. I can't actually remember. That's a problem. I'll pre-order something and then forget that I pre-ordered it. I'll forget where I pre-ordered it from, so I won't know. I'll have to hunt for the account with the pre-order. And yeah, that's how much luck I have with pre-orders, to be honest. So, okay, moving out a bit. Might go in with the side. Actually, I don't mind it being looking like all gnarled up, because it is. It's all gnarled to shit. So I'll just do that. But I'm not happy with this area here. It's too bulky. So let's thin this out a little bit. So I'm going to add a little bit to that side. But yeah. I know NECA did say that they were going to do a virtual San Diego Comic-Con reveal style thing for the weekend that Comic-Con is meant to be on, so that you know, we still get reveals shown, which would be good. I guess they're going to do it live, or maybe on their Twitter, or maybe with Pixel Dan, because they did reveal some bits and bobs when he did that interview, and it went down well. That was cool to see, actually. That was really, really cool. But I know that they're going to still try and give us some reveals, which will be awesome. So more to come in the Back to the Future line for sure, which I can't wait for. Got those pre-ordered as well. Oh, Biff and the Two Martys. I'm getting every figure in that line. You just watch me. Even if it's Lorraine, I don't care. I'm getting it. Give me a Strickland. I want Strickland, man. Slacker. Let's add a bit more to the side. Blend it in. Means I probably have to go over my work again. No. No. That's all right. Dig it out of the joint, and I can let this set a little bit. I'm only doing the one hand. I know there's multiple hands that come with this shredder with the giant blades, but for now I'm just doing the one. If I fancy posing him with another, then I'll work around it. But for him in display, it's just going to be the one for now, which I'm alright with. Okay. That I don't mind it being gnarled up, as his hand's going to be chewed up anyway. Neaten that part down, I will. There we are. That'll do for now, and I'm going to plonk him over here. Okay, and let that cure, and I can tinker with it a bit more with sanding. How long are we on? Well, 53 minutes. Good Lord, have mercy. All right, what else is there to do? Okay, so rundown of what I'm doing. Obviously, once I get the hand cured, sorted out a bit, and then painted up, that'll be the hand done. Trying to colour match it with this wrist here. So I've got what paints I'm going to use. A couple of different flesh tones I'm going to play with, and obviously give it a bit of a red wash with the maroon. Try and colour match it a bit. Yeah, the scarring on the face is done, and then after that it will literally just be sorting this out, and this will be a lot of sanding down and painting up. But the next Custom K video will be of this complete. Okay, and I think I'm going to call it there. I'll give you an hour. I don't want to keep anyone listening to my bloody voice for a while, but as you can see, me reflection in the tablet. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you stopping by. Really means a lot, and I'll try and get some more of these up and about. Yeah, so anyway, I appreciate it. I hope you stay safe. Thanks very much. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later.